The Australia visa for your holiday or business trip. Applying for a visa is necessary when going to Australia on holiday or on a business trip. European Union and UK citizens can easily apply for the necessary visa online for £14.95 per person, for a stay in Australia of up to 3 months. Australian visa application is always mandatory. Are you travelling to Australia for a holiday or business trip? Then you must apply for an Australia eVisa. This requirement applies to all travellers, including tourists and business travellers with the UK or European Union nationality. Children also need to have their own passports and visa. The only times a visa is usually not required is if you have Australian or New Zealand nationality, or if you only have a connecting flight in Australia. European Union and UK citizens will be checked for a valid visa when they check in or board the plane. You should therefore submit your application well before departure. Australian visas are approved on average in 5 days. Urgent applications are usually approved within 60 minutes. However, immigration authorities recommend that you apply for your eVisa before you book your trip. The sooner you can be sure you will be allowed to enter the country, the better. Which visa type? Do I need an eVisitor or ETA? Australia? Tourists and business travelers can use the eVisitor visa or the ETA Australia. These two visa types are also suitable for visiting friends or family, and for attending a short study or training course. The requirements and validity of the two visas are the same. Are you a UK or European Union national? Then you should apply for an eVisitor visa Australia. This also applies to travelers with the nationality of Iceland, Liechtenstein, Monaco, Norway, San Marino, Vatican City and Switzerland. This saves you the higher application costs and more complicated application procedure of the ETA Australia. The eVisitor visa is the most applied for visa type among European travelers for both tourist and business trips. Do you have Canadian or American nationality? Then you cannot apply for an eVisitor, but you can submit an ETA application. This video is intended for European travelers. When this video mentions the Australia visa, it always refers to the eVisitor variant, requirements and validity period of Australian visa. Before applying for an Australia visa, it is advised checking whether you meet all the visa requirements. A brief summary of the most important requirements: you do not intend to carry out voluntary work that would otherwise be done by a paid employee. You do not intend to enter into an employment relationship in Australia. This is possible with a working holiday visa. You do not intend to provide services to Australian organizations. This is allowed with a work visa. You do not intend to provide or sell services or products to Australian consumers. You and your family members are not in debt to the Australian government. You do not pose a risk to the health or safety of the people of Australia. You are able to demonstrate that you have sufficient financial resources to pay for your stay and return. Submitting an Australia visa application. The application procedure for the eVisitor visa Australia is very simple. You can use the online application form to apply for an Australia visa for yourself, for another person or for several people at once. The cost of the Australia visa is £14.95 per person. After completing the application form, you can pay the costs safely and easily with Visa, MasterCard, American Express or PayPal. Your application will then be processed immediately. There is no need to create an account or go through any other complicated steps. As soon as your visa is approved, you will receive a text message and email as confirmation. You can then download and print the visa, or store it on your phone or laptop. Make sure that you are able to present the visa on a screen on arrival in Australia. In urgent need of an Australia visa, if you want to apply for a visa for your trip to Australia at the last minute, it is best to submit an urgent application. This can be done with the same application form. You can indicate that you would like your application to be processed as a matter of urgency. A surcharge of £17.50 per person applies to this. Urgent deliveries take place within 60 minutes in 95% of the cases, but delivery times can never be guaranteed. 1 in 20 applications is subjected to a more extensive manual check which can cause a delay of several days.